Today on Riffs, Beards, and Gear, we are going to check out the AmpCraft 1992 Amp Sim plugin from Kazrog. Having spent the last, 3 or 4 years using Kazrog's True Iron plugin, hearing that they've put their hat into the Amp Sim game with the AmpCraft 1992 plugin, that got me pretty excited. Now, before we go any further, you can consider this a sponsored video as Kazrog has asked me to show you guys this plugin. However, all thoughts and opinions are still mine. Now, we all know the PV block letter 5150. It is an incredibly legendary amp, and rightfully so. Now, there are a gazillion different plugins that kind of emulate or based on or kind of sound like a 5150. I mean, that's like one of the first plugins that we see as guitarists, right? Well, Kazrog's AmpCraft 1992 uses all new tech and is a touch-sensitive emulation, a very accurate emulation of a block letter 5150. Now, some of the other things that you can expect from the AmpWork 1992 plugin is 4 different overdrives, a noise gate, and a 2-channel cabinet IR loader that also comes with 4 different cabinets: greenback 1960, vintage 30, and an orange 412 as well. I mean, it's all there. So we're going to deep dive the AmpCraft 1992. I have my guitar behind me, but before we deep dive it in a more casual setting, let's hear it in the context of a full mix. Now, the AmpCraft 1992 strikes a good balance, in my opinion, between total option paralysis, just crazy amounts of options and bells and whistles, and a simplistic design and something that you don't feel overwhelmed with when you first open it up. Now, when you first open it up, you get the amp view. There's a couple of pedals and there's a cab section. There isn't a bunch of post-processing. There isn't anything that doesn't need to be there, really. AmpCraft 1992, I'm all for it. So being an original owner of a block letter 5150, a handful of them, in fact, Kazrog has kept all of the good stuff and kind of improved on some of the not great stuff. In particular, the headroom on the clean and crunch channel. This is actually a lot better on the plugin than it is on the actual amp, which I actually really appreciate. Now, in addition to a variable cabinet blending between the 2 different impulses, you also have a 4-band EQ, speaker dynamics control, stereo panning, and built-in oversampling, which is really, really cool. Okay, so I have my custom Ernie Ball Music Man Stingray RS with my prototype Fishman signature pickup in the bridge. This is a hot, modern pickup, and I'm going straight into my computer, and I have AmpCraft 1992 up. Now, currently, I have all the EQ at noon. My cab section consists, I'm using the Boogie 412 cabinet impulse folder that comes with the plugin, and this is a 121 mixed 50-50 with the 57, an SM57. And with no post-processing and a boost engaged, it sounds like this. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a little bit overview before we kind of dive in and start turning some knobs. So first we have the pedal section. Over here on the right-hand side of the overdrive, we have 4 different overdrives. We have the 808, we have the 66, we have the Stockholm, and we have the drive pedal, okay? More on this in a second. For now, I'm going to turn this off. We have the amp, obviously. I have the normal gain, and I also have the high gain inputs. More on this in a minute. And then we have the cab section. Now, the cab section, we can fine-tune the final sound of the amplifier. We have 2 different impulse sides that we can use to blend with the blend control right here. I'm gonna put that back to, let's see, 50%. We also have a little bit of EQ shaping on the speaker cabinet. I like this. We'll get to this in a second, but I really, really like how this was done. And we also have a dynamics control as well. Now, if we choose to use our own impulses, there is delay compensation adjustments for each side for multiple impulses, so you can phase correct for them. Okay, very handy. I love that. Also, finally, phase inversion and solo functions. Okay, so we are on the lead channel. I have disengaged the boost, right? So no boost is going on. This is how the lead channel of the AmpCraft 1992 sounds with no boost. Now I'm going to go ahead and go back to the clean and crunch channel. Now, again, I'm in the normal gain. We'll get to the high gain input in just a second. There's my crunch, and here's my clean. Normally, this is actually still pretty distorted on the actual amp, right? So I can crank this up. And there's a ton more headroom than on the real amp. So I appreciate that. Let's try this into the high gain input. Try the crunch channel. Let's stay on this channel for a second because one of my favorite guitar tones of all time is Bullet for My Valentine's Scream, Aim, Fire. That was on a 5150 crunch channel with the boost. So I'm going to go ahead and go over to my boost section, and I'm going to, let's use the drive, and let's put the attack at, I don't know, 2, volume up, drive down. Let's see how this sounds on the crunch channel. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and shape this tone a little bit. I'm going to turn up the resonance and dip those mids a little bit. I don't know. I kind of like where the highs are at, to be honest. Let's see how this sounds. Okay, that's pretty good. I think it's missing a little bit of the low mid sauce that a 5150 has in real life. So I'm going to come over to my cab section and I'm going to reset this. I'm going to reset that. And so in this cab section, I can turn on. Now this affects both sides. This is kind of a global control. My low mid frequency, I want to be around, I don't know, we're going to try 230. And I'm going to bring up the low mids and kind of get a little bit more energy going, okay? That's pretty good. I also kind of want to maybe process the lows out. So I'm going to use a high pass filter And I'm going to come in at about 70 hertz. And while I'm at it, I'm going to low pass, let's say about 12K. Get rid of the upper top endy stuff. We don't want that. I like how that feels, and I like how that sounds. And we're not even on the lead channel yet. Now we have a high mid control here. I'm not going to touch that yet. We're going to leave that alone for now, at least. So let's go back over to the overdrives and let's see how different overdrives affect our tone. The 808's a little crunchier. I like that. '66. I think it's a little overkill for what I'm kind of looking for. Let's go back to the drive and up the attack a little bit. I like the 808. So I'm gonna stick with that. That's a cool tone. That's cool. So let's go ahead and do the same thing with the lead channel. I'm gonna go ahead and select the lead channel. Let's see where we're at just right off the bat without touching anything. We're in Hot City. Let's go over to the overdrive. Let's turn the level down a little bit. I'm gonna turn the level down to, yeah, right about there. Let's see how this sounds. Noise gate, keeping it nice and tight. Let's turn off the noise gate and play that same riff. Ooh, hear that? Very effective noise gate. I like that. That's a very good noise gate. Okay, so let's fine tune this tone a little bit over in the cab section. There's some quawkiness, and I think we can either get rid of that on one of the low mids or high mids. No, I'm gonna go back up here to almost 3K. What's the dynamics do? The non-linearity of the speaker response can be kind of cool. Now, only now is when I would actually start messing with the IRs, honestly. Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm going to add a little bit more presence, a little bit more top end, and take away some of the low end. That's sick. I'm going to go back to the crunch channel and mess with that, mess with the Stockholm. Love that. That's pretty fun, honestly. All right. AmpCraft 1992 from Kazrog. This is a fun ass plugin, honestly. It's cool. I like how, I don't know, I like how kind of simplistic it is while not being over the top simplistic for simplistic sake. I said simplistic a lot, I'm sorry. But I don't know, the things that need to be here are here and the things that don't need to be here aren't here. And I really enjoy that. You know, I like the fact that, you know, I don't have to use these IRs and I can, you know, I can turn off this entire cab section off if I want. Oh, good. No hard feelings. Honestly, the impulses that come with this plugin are more than enough for me to get any tone that I want. And yeah, I think you can get any tone you want as well. AmpCraft 1992 typically goes for about $80. However, it does go on sale when I'm recording this video right now. It is on sale. So check the Kazrog website. And with that, you have been wonderful. I have been Fluff. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. If you liked the video you just watched, please consider subscribing. And if you want to further support me and what I do, consider using some of the affiliate links down below in the description of this video. Go on over to Sweetwater, buy yourself something, and help me out at the same time. It's a win-win for both of us.